Award to Mr. Danatus King.
Thank you all. Thank you for the award. And matter of fact, let me do this. If I can ask. So that's how much it means to me. I want to get a picture of my own. And I thank you all. I'm not going to be very long. First, I apologize for my dress. And the reason I'm dressed like this is because I'm in the middle of the Mercadale family reunion. So probably some of y'all my cousins up here. So Mercadale's got branches all over the place. We're at City Park right now. And I was told, invited, honored to come here. As I said, I know that I have family from throughout the world that are there at City Park right now that travel here for the reunion. As important as that is, it was important for me to at least come here and give you all thanks for the award. I just came yesterday. We got off the road. We came from Houston. And some of you may be aware that the NAACP had its national convention this past week in Houston. And for those that have not heard, our New Orleans branch received the first place as far as branches throughout the United States at the convention this past week. That's hundreds of branches, actually thousands of branches throughout the United States. Your New Orleans, our New Orleans branch, for the work that we've been doing, recognized, awarded first place, branches between 500 and 1,000 members. So that work that we're doing, and working with a community voice, working with all the other organizations here in the city, that is exactly what time it is right now. It's not time for us to say we're the NAACP. It's not time for us to say that we're a community voice. It's not time for us to say that we're this organization now. It's time for us to come together and do the work. So I thank you all, and I'm going to have to take my leave and go give it to the rest of those folks over there at City Park.
Award, and it's being presented to Mr. David Blake for Louisiana. That's David Baker for Louisiana.
I'm David Baker. I'm an associate editor for Louisiana Weekly. My editor couldn't make today, so she asked me to step in on her behalf. We want to thank y'all for honoring us for this year will be 87 years of covering the stories of the work that you're doing and supporting Cynthia, and we really, really send you our deepest for if there's anything we can do, let us know. We will continue, hopefully, for the next 8-7 years to cover your stories to make sure that we highlight the issues in New Orleans that our communities are facing and other minorities are facing, such as the education issue, the crime issue, issues with food access and health care. We want to make sure that our doors are open to you whenever you need them, whenever you have a story, something that you think that we can help highlight to further your mission. Please bring it to us. Thank you.
Is there any way you could buy the Times-Picayune? some money together.
We're looking into, we've been asked a couple of times if we're going to go to a daily format. Right now, though, weekly format seems to be working out if we change our minds.
Our next award goes to Mr. Bob Tucker. Thank you for saving us from manslaughter by the New Orleans police and the Desire Project when the Black Panthers were active.
Thank you so much. By way of quick background, I'm a native New Orleanian, came through the public schools of New Orleans with New Orleans Point. Then went away to school in Atlanta, Georgia, Clark College in those days. As of March of 1960, I, along with 112 students led by Dr. King's brother, A.E. King, got arrested for eating in the wrong place. My group was Sprayberry's federal cafeteria. There were 11 of us that went through those doors. And of course, because the help was all black, the manager instructed them to begin taking up the food. For some weird reason, they put a huge canvas on the front of the store to keep people, I guess, from knowing what was happening inside. But it was a serious occasion. The manager came out, of course, the help took that time picking up the food. So by the time we finally got around, I had about 8 iced teas and 2 pounds we could brew, 10 salads, so we could pass them back. Manager came out, his first words were, "I wish I had my gun." And of course, he didn't know that Dr. King, Martin Luther King, who had recruited 112 and 6,000 students at the Atlanta University Senate, had so imbued us with the understanding of struggle, what this movement was about, that we were unfazed, because the ultimate question in revolution is, are you willing to die? And so at 18, 19 years of age, many of us as college freshmen, sophomores, answered that question in the affirmative. It was really kind of funny, as serious as it was a group of little Atlanta ladies sitting there, and one of them said, "Ooh, we said this supposed to be National NAACP Day. I've never seen this many niggas in one place." And as serious as it was, we couldn't snicker, we couldn't hold anything against her. But coming out of that experience, I spent 3 years in the U.S. military, came back here, led a march on City Hall because it was not the City Hall that is today. And we had 10 non-negotiable demands, any 9 of which would have readily negotiated if anyone had been willing to listen to us. And so came in, spent 8 years with Blue Andrews, the first African-American assistant, and then off and came out and started the business. This issue of struggle and this issue of putting something back, which is what this is all about, is really the centerpiece question. I look around this room and I see warriors. I see Beth, Wade Rasky, and I have been I see Lena right back here, people who've been in others around this room, who've been in the vineyard, working to try and ensure empowerment and equity for all people. And that's what the struggle is really all about. And so thank you so very much for this very special award. I appreciate it. I thank you for your thoughtfulness. Desire was an experience for all of us. I see Malik Rahim, who's the Minister of Defense. We get together about once or twice a week. We occupied 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, 32 years ago, we occupied a few acres of real estate together. He was preparing for the onslaught that was about to happen with the police department in those days to come in and to physically evict those kids. And all that they had been doing was providing breakfast programs for young people that were protecting welfare mothers who were going to get their checks. They kept the dope dealers in their place. And so it was a different environment. But Malik Rahim, who was the Minister of Defense of Black Panther Party, I went over and I visited with him because I had some civil rights standing with them. They were creating a perimeter with Cayenne pepper, the dogs screaming in faces, and Marissa Aarons captured all this in a book called Shootout in Desire. And I asked him if there was any way we could work this out. He said, no, they had to do what they had to do. Unfortunately, we went back and forth. The mayor, the police chief, Chief Giarusso, in those days, they made the right decision, which was to pull out. Kids came out, turned into a major street festival, and the rest of this issue. Malik is now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, created common ground, stayed in New Orleans. We're working on the West Bank. We work to try to create some sort of nonviolent interventions with the streets, what's going on now. The others who are working in that regard, both inside and outside of the law enforcement community. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.